The brain is the most powerful tool humankind will ever have. For how easily it can be broken, it is remarkably difficult to be fixed. Meanwhile, as the brain is broken, it creates a story that can never be forgotten. Together we will capture these stories and share them with the world to relate and connect on real life battles. Join me as we enter into the darkest times of people's lives. I'm Jimmy Boyd, and this is Shattered Minds. Fire starter. From the age of 10 or 11, possibly even younger than that, I have been a fire truck chaser. I was fascinated with burning homes and fields, though I don't remember starting any fires myself. Fast forward to 2018, I am into the game Team Fortress 2, which has one playable character called Pyro. I became obsessed and fell in love with him. I wrote a fanfiction story about him using the first-person point of view, and after a few chapters, that's when I discovered that I needed to set a fire to ease my anxiety, and so it had gone on for months afterwards. I started with paper in a tin in my bedroom, and that quickly escalated to paper outside. Then more paper outside. Then a rag that I'd found on the porch of an abandoned house. Next was a dumpster. Destroyed it. Then the second dumpster that replaced the destroyed one. Then a shit ton of newspapers up on the railroad tracks. There was also a vacuum cleaner, which was a bad idea because I'd forgotten that plastic burns with black thick smoke. I don't know how I hadn't been caught that time. Later was a piece of fabric nailed to a tree, which I got scared and ran away, losing my phone, and finally a broken telephone pole twice, and a lot of wooden pallets and more paper. Fast forwarding to January 3rd, 2019, the fire marshal shows up at my house with an arrest warrant. My house gets condemned, which was unrelated to no heat, mold, bad wiring, etc., and I start the journey through the justice system. It was treated like a pure criminal case from the start. The rag on the porch had gotten me a charge of arson for recklessly endangering an occupied structure, which was the house next door, along with criminal mischief, vandalism, which were the dumpsters, and then recklessly endangering another person, which were the people living next door to the abandoned house. The first was a felony 2, and the other 2 were misdemeanor 2s. After going through court hearings galore and continuances, and tears and anger and frustration for months and months, not to mention months in prison, which is another story. On October 3rd, 2019, I was finally able to put my plea in. Guilty of a felony 3 charge of reckless burning, which carries a 9-month minimum prison sentence. By this time, I was just about to start my 10 months of incarceration, so I was happy because I knew that I would most likely get time served when I was sentenced. That came on November 20th, 2019, and I did indeed get time served. 2 years of probation, a mental health evaluation ordered, and I'd have to pay court costs. Unfortunately, Thanksgiving came. Nobody worked that week. Then Christmas 4 weeks later. Again, everyone was very lax at the courthouse. And New Year's. So I didn't get released until January 3rd, 2020. Which is ironic because I'd been arrested on January 3rd, 2019. I have been out for nearly a month now. Go to a partial hospitalization program every day for 3 hours minimum, and taking medication that really sucks. It doesn't work, not yet anyhow, and I'm still very impulsive and still setting small fires whenever I can. The long name for my condition which I just got diagnosed at the counseling center, is other specified disruptive, impulse control, and conduct disorder. You can guess the specified part of it, I bet. Only 1% of the country has this diagnosis, and I am one of those who have it. I might add that I'm also a female and the mama of 5 children and nearly 49 years old. I had spent every single family birthday, including my 48th birthday on February 22nd, every single holiday, and the whole summer vacation for the kids in prison last year. I don't want to go back. I see my probation officer weekly so she can harass me about not having my meds. I have them now, but at first, I couldn't get them because I had to get my insurance back first, which I have done. This is the end of story, Firestarter. For anyone watching this video, I would like to say, if you see a pattern with yourself, starting fires, or doing things that are potentially dangerous or harmful towards yourself or others, please seek help immediately. Clearly, this type of disorder is very rare, and is something to keep mindful of to pay attention to these types of habits when they are formed. I'm very happy to hear that you were able to get help with this problem, and hope you can continue to resolve the issue. And finally, I would like to say, as this may not be your average shattered mind story you may hear on this channel, I'm happy to share this with anyone listening to help expand knowledge on new or lesser known disorders. It's important to understand all different types of disorders so we know what to look out for. Please understand that these disorders can be very dangerous, and it's very important to seek help from a trained professional as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.